Fox 17 News photojournalist Richie Butler shows us why local leaders are stressing the importance of this day.
We just rocked out here at the Nashville Earth Day Festival. Green everywhere, a little overcast, but that's okay. That's all part of Earth. We're just going with it, but everyone had a great time, a lot of fun with all the kids out here and the big kids, all the adults too.
So we're celebrating trees. We're celebrating the earth and the value of trees. We want it to be a really fun event where people will come and have fun with our photo booth and learn a little bit about trees, so they'll want to go home and value them and love them and plant one of their own.
We have lots of different vendors out today. One of the things all of our vendors have in common is that they're all ecologically friendly. They're here to provide better education to all of us as citizens. Since the rain has stopped, you can see we've got lots of people coming out for Sam Bush.
Down in the hills of Tennessee.
I'm having a great time here today. It started off a little bit cold and chilly this morning, so it's good to see the sun coming out a little bit, and great music from Sam Bush, and lots of good people out.
Fox 17 photojournalist Richard Butler captured the impact this really had on these families.
When the whole virus thing happened, we've had to change a lot of what we do. We got little packages that we give them, candy, a book, and some bling, but then we give them a gallon of beef stew. And I'll tell you what, we've been blessed to be able to do this work. And today, the governor and the first lady, they all have the same opportunity to meet our families.
To be able to get out and just even stand 6 feet apart from them on a doorstep to say, hey.
Hello. Hey. Are you Brandis?
They are not forgotten, that we still remember the sacrifice that their loved one made.
Their father, he served in the Army for, 13 years?
He was a very good man. He was. He never really got too loud. He didn't really like to discipline. He was very nice. That's what I remember.
So in 2006, my husband, Major Troy Gilbert, deployed to Iraq to fight in combat, and he was an F-16 pilot in the Air Force, and he was tragically killed in a combat mission where he saved over 60 men's lives, 2 Army units. In the years that followed, I was a single mom, raising all these little babies, and I just was so excited anytime I would find out about a foundation, that would step in and just honor his sacrifice.
Hello!
We celebrate his life every day. In fact, during this quarantine time, we pulled out some old family movies that I had not ever watched, and just to hear his voice and, and to see him again was really, truly special.
Thousands of hockey fans rang in the new year in Dallas at the Winter Classic, kicking off 2020. A new year provides a fresh slate, something the Morris family needed.
Not fun at all. I couldn't do anything. I saw my brother go outside, jump in the pool, jump on the trampoline while I sat there, and I absolutely did nothing.
2019 was incredibly challenging. We had to have a lot of conversations and make a lot of decisions we didn't ever think we would have to do for our child.
The Morris family discovered their worst fear.
And I told him almost certainly that it was cancer. He asked me 2 questions. One, he said, "Mom, do people die of cancer?" And I said, "Absolutely, baby." And secondly, he said, "Is this going to keep me from playing football this year?" And that was his only concern after that.
Like it was something else, it was something else to deal with and then just move forward. He didn't let many things phase him.
Yeah, he and his dad came up with a plan of, okay, I've got cancer, let's beat it, we've got a life to live, and that's what he did.
Lachlan was diagnosed with stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the Predators have been there for him since the beginning.
I don't know how to put this, but it helps them just think you're having a good time with somebody who doesn't have to do this, but they decide to come here anyways, just to lift up your spirits and help you have the good rest of the day.
And then again on this fateful day.
Go, baby.
I'm cancer-free.
Woo!
Bridgestone and the Predators thought surprising Lachlan with tickets to the Winter Classic would help them celebrate, with Pred Senator Matt Duchene doing the honors.
How's that sound? There you go, yeah.
You think you're having a bad day, it doesn't touch what they've been through. Like I said, with having a young kid now myself, I can't even imagine what those parents have gone through, and I'm just so happy for them that they're kind of through it now.
Ringing in a new year with your favorite hockey team, unforgettable. But for the Morrises, they prefer to see it as an end rather than a beginning.
But now, in 2020, I've beat it, and I know that I've beat it.
Not only did our son survive it, he kicked butt. So going into 2020, I really hope it's uneventful. I hope we're bored. That's our normal, and normal would be really great.
He is not here, but is risen.
Windshield wipers wave in the pouring rain, much like a congregation waving up an Easter greeting at preacher Jason Mull. He stands on the porch of Rocky Valley Baptist Church, speaking into a microphone to a sea of vehicles. This is Easter Sunday amidst a COVID-19 pandemic. People gathering for church, drive-in style.
We even have some honks for amens going on. So it's been pretty neat to kind of see this develop.
Amen.
Pastor Mull says they've been doing this for a couple weeks, even before the state guidelines came down. Mull says his congregation wasn't sure how to respond at first.
Well, I think at first there were a few who thought there's the preachers being crazy again.
But now they sort of like it.
I've had people say, hey, we should do this once a month through the summer or something because they've enjoyed it so much.
Brian Kemp has been coming to this church for 30 years. He says it's definitely different worshiping this way.
You're not giving each other a hug and shaking hands, if you will, and kind of sitting close to one another and being able to stand up and kind of sing together. But it's definitely still a feeling of camaraderie, I guess, and fellowship, if you will.
The governor says worship services are considered an essential activity right now and encouraged churches to do virtual services or drive-in ones.
Celebrate on this Lord's Day.
So while Pastor Mull preaches from the front porch and the musicians sing from the sanctuary, the windshield wipers continue their dance and the worship persists during a pandemic.
So right there where that little garage is that Susan's?
No, Susan's is gone too.
Laura Dramas and Casey McGee walk down Holly Street still in awe at what's left to be done.
These are like 100-year-old houses. They're not those tall, skinny new builds that just go up really quick. Like they've been here for so long. It's just so sad to see them.
And Laura's was one of those homes, 100 years old, ripped apart March 3rd while she crouched in her bathroom with her dog.
The force of it and just such a, I think the next day seeing the damage overall, because I think a part of me that night thought that it had just kind of hit our little section, and I just really didn't realize the extent of what it had done to the neighborhood.
The next week became a blur. Not only did they have to cope with Laura losing her home, but they felt the pull from the community to help those in even worse shape.
Which way are we going? Careful.
There you go. You're very welcome.
If I could go around and find every one of them, I could hug them from daylight to dark.
And after a week of adrenaline, before everything really sank in, COVID-19 hit Nashville. The focus shifted so quickly because it had to. But like the holes where these homes used to be, it left an emptiness in so many people.
With high speed and high contact, it's no surprise that injuries are abundant in the sport of hockey.
I sort of double as penalty box operator and team doctor. And then even this past weekend, I had to take care of another player on another team who got hit in the head with a puck in the shooting range, not even on the ice.
And head injuries like that are something Lee Gerber sees all the time as an avid hockey fan.
Started in Philadelphia, day one with the Flyers, 1967. Beginning with that season, I've been a lifelong hockey fan.
Now he works for Bridgestone, where he gets an up-close experience with the Preds.
It gets quicker and quicker each year. So things happen, things that human eye just can't catch sometimes.
The CDC reports 64% of hockey concussions are from player contact and 30% are the result of being checked.
These people are bigger and faster and stronger than ever, and I don't think the human body is caught up with the size and the strength and speed and whatever.
He says with more awareness about CTE, he's seen the change in the National Hockey League. Concussion education programs, return to play policies, even rule changes.
I think it's been leaps and bounds.
Working to protect these players as the game gets faster and more physical.
Government offices may be closed on weekends, but today you wouldn't know it based on the hundreds of Rutherford County employees who donated their time to help local families.
We're all blessed in Middle Tennessee, especially here in Rutherford County. As you can see, all these people are willing to give up a Saturday and come and do this and to help others that are in need.
Mayor Bill Ketron says he got the idea after participating in a similar outreach food packaging event in Memphis while serving in the state Senate. Today, in just 2 hours, these volunteers are assembling 50,000 boxes of food to be distributed to various nonprofits.
Every time we fill up a box, we celebrate and ring the bell.
And that is something to celebrate because each of these boxes contains everything you need to make a healthy soup that's enough to feed a family of 6.
I hope that those folks not only get a meal, but they realize there's somebody else in this community who cares about them. That's really the important thing.
Once again, the sound of engines roaring could be heard at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, the first race of the season, delayed for months due to coronavirus, making for an extra long off-season. The drivers say felt even longer with that uncertainty looming.
It's exciting just because it's July. Usually we're down here testing in March, and first race is usually in April, so it's kind of well overdue.
I didn't know if I had any racing in my future this year, so to get back in the car, it's going to be a lot of fun.
But organizers hope this is good, clean fun. They say they've been working with Metro Health leaders to ensure safety of everyone on site by doing temperature checks, requiring masks, and switching up seating, leaving every other row empty for social distancing, among other changes.
We have our grandstands cordoned off into 3 zones, A, B, and C. Each zone will have a set number of folks, and ideally in those zones. We've added restrooms and food and drinks in those areas as well, so folks don't have to go and mix and mingle on the concourse.
While the adjustments can be stressful, the Speedway hopes fans find it worth it. Happy just to be back.
I think it's just good for everybody to get outdoors in the sun and watch a race. I think it'll be great for the fans too. I mean, everybody's tired of being at home. I think it's obviously something we have to take seriously, try to stay 6 feet apart and do all the protocols that they've asked us to do.
Racers are almost like a big family. I mean, everybody down here knows everybody. When you come down here, the stress, it's like a big stress relief for us.
3, 4. This dance company has a history of show-stopping talent.
She's our 6th dancer that has made it on the show.
Monday's finale comes with plenty of anticipation.
No matter what she places, that everyone is going to be so proud.
Inspiring the next generation of dancers to push the limits.
They're so inspired to want to get better and keep dancing because then they see that the dream is possible.
Under a blazing sun, this peaceful crowd of protesters rallied for justice for George Floyd on the pedestrian bridge and beyond in downtown Nashville. The conditions not for the faint of heart, but this group was tireless, only stopping to pray or take a knee in honor of Black lives taken at the hands of police. The effort fueled in large part by young people, like Belmont University student Eric Jordan.
I just wanted to use my voice to show an example that even though I'm young, I can come out here and show support for all of these people. That's my main purpose, to just show people that you can use your voice to spread change and spread love.
Jordan is friends with one of the rally's organizers, an MTSU student. He feels strongly about young adults, teens, and even younger experiencing this movement.
I just think that it's important for people as young as elementary school, middle school. It's good for them to be exposed to things like this so they can grow up and see the changes that need to be happening in the community.
Mom Ellen Brackensevitz agrees. For her, today's rally was a family affair. She brought her daughter to educate her.
Today broke the news to her about what had happened to George Floyd, and I tried to tell her what actually happened, because it makes no sense to her when I say that a white man put his knee on a black man's neck while he wasn't resisting and slowly killed him.
While these concepts like racism and inequality may be hard for kids to understand, today a showing of unity, people trying to understand how to stop this and move forward together.
I think it's great seeing the unity out here. The overwhelming support with the city of Nashville as well as people from other states is really inspiring. And I think that it's something much needed during this time.
Cheekwood Holiday Lights is already becoming a family tradition for many across the Mid-State. Entering its 5th year, it continues to grow and evolve.
New this year, we have Pinnacles of Light, and it features 17 LED trees that are programmed just for our show. So right when you come in our color garden at the beginning of the show, you're immediately dazzled by these 17 just amazing trees.
You can even have a one-of-a-kind experience.
My favorite part are the reindeer. This is the only place in Nashville that you can see real reindeer.
Now, if you want to head out, Glow Nashville begins tomorrow and lasts through December 31st. And Cheekwood Holiday Lights begins on Saturday, and that will last through January 5th. Reporting from Cheekwood Estate and Gardens, I'm Greg Bobus, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.